Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today we've got a creator who's never appeared on the channel before. That said, they'll be appearing again very, very shortly indeed. You see, I've had a little look at the Patreon vote for next week and their first map is currently riding high on that vote. So it's almost certain we'll be doing them on Friday next week. So it means that we'll be starting with their second map and following up with their first map. It's funny how things go sometimes. Today's map is inspired by a map that we reviewed back in episode 1289, Spring Fjords by Stephen Stomey. A truly outstanding map, and you can see where the influences come across. So all credit to Stephen Stomey and to today's creator for both doing outstanding jobs. Now, one job that you could do absolutely brilliantly is play BonBonBingo. There are no prizes, but lots of fun to be had. But if you do want to be an absolute winner, well, you know what's coming. It's, of course, the daily reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Wakashan Bay by DeaconPmp. Now, I don't know for sure what PMP is an abbreviation of, but coming from a retail background, for me, it's price marked pack. Price marked pack. There's your start square. Deacon price marked pack. It's almost catchy. There's your terrain heights. Plenty of buildable space and plenty of interesting mountains as well. Then we have resources which are good and strong across the map, regardless of how you want to play it. And if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it's mostly about the anchovies. It's not really a fishing map, despite the amount of... Well, you could fish for anything really, can't you? Anyway, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. There is a one-click collection with quite a few thingies in it. Quite a few. No controller. We've also got intersection marking tool in operation, which you don't really strictly need. Whole bunch of settings and a whole bunch of thank yous at the bottom, including to the BonBon buddies over on Discord, who have really helped out apparently along the way as well. Whole list of things here as well. We'll be using the Wakashan Bay map theme and the Relight film LUT. The Procedural Objects mod is in operation today as well. Again, if you don't have the Procedural Objects mod, it won't break the map. It will just be some things will be missing. So it's not something you absolutely desperately require. And for the first time in ages, we have got a custom cube map specifically for the map. Normally I can choose whichever map cube map I like, but the skybox today is the one specifically nodded to by the creator. Again, you don't need to have it. You can have whatever sky you like. The vanilla sky is absolutely perfectly lovely, but this one chosen specifically. So anyway, what can I tell you? Well, the standards are going to be very high today. Everything is crisp and sharp and done to very high, strong standards. And my grumbles are minor ones. Which is, I like starting off the show by saying that they are minor ones. I wouldn't even call them grumbles mostly. They're talking points. It's just one of those things that you get, if I find a little something, I found a little something, you know. And most of the things are little somethings. I do have oh, hang on, intersection marking tool type. Very nicely done. I'm going to say that. I have no moans or groans about that at all. Our first bridge, yeah, minor moan about this one. I think we can see a minor protrudence right there. And is this the bridge? This isn't the bridge. We'll be seeing a bridge in the second half, which is very similar. I couldn't tell you whereabouts it is on the map, but it's very similar to that one. Has the same protrudence problem, but also has a slight pillar squidge. That's all. So yes, where were we? What was I talking about? I've forgotten. So procedural objects. We covered procedural objects, hadn't we? Yeah, you don't need it. Because all procedural objects is, it's kind of like, well, they're kind of props but they're not actually in the game props, and they're props that you can adjust the shape and size of. So I like to think of them more like as holograms. Holograms within the game. It doesn't affect anything. If they're not in the game, you don't see them. And so not having procedural objects just means that those holograms will just not be there. But alright, from a certain distance there are 1 or 2 spots on the map where the highways glitch out a little bit. It's I would say not a common thing. It's a fairly rare thing that does happen occasionally, and I don't know if anybody can actually put their thumb down on what causes it. I certainly had a little bit of that on not my last map, my second to last major map, St. Catherine's Point, where out in the corner of the map there was a little bit of glitching on an elevated road that would just glitch out. And but again, only from a certain height and only from a certain angle. Where's your start square? Looks perfectly playable to me there. Thank you very much. No grumbles there. So yes, well, Deacon has done a mighty fine job here. Now this area is British Columbia, up in Canada, and up in Canada they have things like snow and glaciers, apparently. Yes they do, yes they do. And today's map, the inspiration, the Springfjords melting a glacier idea, has been taken and brought across here, and to say it's been done really well is, I think, an understatement. It's been done really well. I've got nothing to complain about with the glaciers. I have there you go. I have one design grumble. One part of the map that I feel, and it's a fairly big part of the map, and not the whole map, but just as we'll get to the second half of the show, there's one part of the map that I feel I would rework. If this was me, I would rework. It's not going to kill wanting to play the map for anybody, because honestly the map has got, I mean, this area here, I'm not even showing it off to its best as we fly by here, because we're going to be coming back and having a look at this later. We're just flying over some rocky stuff at the moment. You wait. Absolutely lovely that is. We've reached the edge of the map, which means we'll take a ride along the rail. The rails are good as well. I don't know what to tell you. We've got loads of custom rail and road assets today. And we're going to see a nice road over rail bridge, which has been done quite cleanly as well. I mean, I don't know what more to tell you. It's just good standards throughout. So yes, if you don't have procedural objects, if you don't have cube map replacer, these things, if you don't have network extensions too, if you don't have that, it won't make any difference to this map at all, because we're not using it. Nice bit of rock detailing around the outside of the tunnels there. At first I wasn't sure if I liked that, but the more I look at it, the more it grew on me. So I'm just going to fly over it and just let it happen. Let it just happen to be. We're going to emerge over here somewhere. There's a rail exit over here somewhere, and there it is. So yes, there's one part of the map is this road over rail bridge that I was mentioning a moment. Oh, let me talk about this bridge. There's one little thing. This is like a maglev, a maglev bridge, magnetic levitation bridge, because these uprights, I feel like there's something missing on these uprights. I'm guessing these procedural objects, so we'll have a look very briefly at procedural objects in the second half of the show. But yeah, they're not actually connecting to the bridge, which means I think we are missing something somewhere along the lines. The gaps between the pillars are just about the maximum I would want. I believe it's just about believable at that sort of distance, given the style of bridge that we've got. And I'm trying to show you the underside here by the tunnel without it. Oh, it's going to bounce. Hang on. There you go. Just about got a view of that under there. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I have no proper grumbles with that, really, because it is tucked away underside. And there you go. In terms of procedural objects, there are some maps that we've reviewed, and the procedural objects have been used overly dramatically, I think would be a way of describing it. The thing, if you can use procedural objects in a way that you don't really sure what's a procedural object, that's a way forward, or you don't even notice that you've got procedural objects really being used. I think that bridge probably is, okay, but there's plenty of work around the map where procedural objects is used, but it's not in your face obvious, and I like the subtlety there. Anyway, we're right at the edge of the map, which means we'll take a brief intermission. Be right back after this.
Are you impressed by the custom assets you see in some YouTubers' Let's Plays? Did you know some of them might be made by a mod within the game itself? Find out more with BonBonB's Procedural Object mod tutorial. Click the I button now.
And so back to the shipping routes in Wakashan Bay by DeaconPmp price marked pack. We have a perfectly fine set of shipping routes. Not really too much to say about these ones. They do what they want to do, and we have some slick shipping triangles as well, and they connect off in three different directions, and it's smooth and nothing stupid. Okay. Water flow, this is your start square water, and there is water motion here. It's not the strongest, but it's deep enough and wide enough, and I would suggest strong enough for it not to be a problem if you want to play a vanilla base game style, except for you won't, because this is a modder's map. You're going to be playing this if you've got mods everywhere. I just know it. Okay, let's have a look at the map. Okay, this is nice. This is an extension to the buildable area. You get out here, don't know what you're going to be doing over here, but it's an interesting area, and there's plenty of things that you could do out here if you wanted to. We've even got a few little national roads out there to play with as well. Then over this side of the map you have the first of our glaciers, or glaciers, depending on your pronunciation. And again, I love the snow melt that's coming off of here, and we'll have a look a bit more detail in a while. Then this is the main buildable area here, where we have lots of crisp farmland. I like the crisp farmland. We've got a very nice shaped lake up here as well, which adds a bit of interest to this area. And again, good strong networking running through it. Then you have a big river coming down from a glacier over there, where there are two separate exits from that glacier. The second one is this big one over here that we flew over here. I promised we'd come back to this area. It is heavily rocked, isn't it? And it's an interesting river, liking the shape of the river. And if we have a look at the melt point, which is up there, which I think we'll come back for as well. Oh, hang on, I've got to show you this. Wow, look at the crack in the glacier there. That is dramatic. That is proper dramatic, and I think we all have to agree that is outstanding work, regardless of what you think of the rest of the map. Right, okay, let's go to talking points. We have a missing pillar here. That's got to be an anarchy issue, I would imagine. But yeah, we have one missing pillar on the map. Then, this tunnel entrance, minor grumble. God blimey, really stretching a point here. It's a bit uppy-downy. Okay, it goes down and then up and then down and then up. Oh, vehicle coming. Right, so it's going down and now it's climbing up and then it's going down and then it's climbing back up. You get a bit seasick coming out of that tunnel exit. I told you minor, didn't I? Here is absolutely fine. You're expecting me to talk a lot about this one. I'm not. I'm saying this is perfectly fine. We do have... Oh, here we go. That was the pillar. There's your pillar. And we do have the clipping street lamp running through as well. Street lamp clipping on the BonBonBingo. This is exquisite. I really love this. I think possibly my favourite part of the map. This water running off of the mountain. It just feels... It feels real. It feels absolutely real. I'm loving that. And that is beautiful. Something silly like that, and I'm liking it. This rock here, this is procedural objects. You wouldn't have known it, would you? If I switch procedural objects on, there's your little button there, and I can move it up and down using that. We're just gonna. It's not quite exactly the same height, but it'll do. It'll do. I haven't moved it left or right though, so that tree that's clipping out the side of it there was clipping through it anyway. And these ones, is it growing between the rocks? That one, there's definitely one growing out of a rock though, isn't there? over here, this is all procedural objects as well, the snow melt point. And again, you wouldn't know for absolute certain, would you? It's just, you don't look at it and think, oh, that's procedural objects. That tree is definitely growing out of a rock. I think you're going to have to stop worrying about trees growing out of rocks, BonBon, when it comes to that. Oh, that was back to our procedural object rock again over here. That means I think we've done full circle. So let's have a look at that one thing that I would change on the map. I like the overall layout. I love the overall design. The only thing I would change, I think, is this river. Okay. Now, I don't mind the fact that it's a little bit of a gouge out here because I kind of expect it to be. Okay. I kind of expect it to cut a little bit of a way through the environment. So that in itself is fine for me. It's where it changes and transitions here into this wide river there that's almost a lake but not really a lake. This I'm struggling with, and then from this point upwards where it bends around, it's quite disinteresting, and I'm surprised we haven't actually got any ripples in the river running down there, causing a stop-start river. What I would do to change this personally, right, I would do some terraforming. I'd make a lake in this area here with a thinner, windier river, a stream coming down from the glacier. And then at the bottom of the lake about here, this point here, I'd have a series of rapids and the river zigzagging down to the points that it widens up, and that I was quite happy from. So that's what I would change. I would change the entire shape of the river going from where I liked it up to the glacier. That would be my major change on the map. Meanwhile, back at the start square, we've got something I wouldn't change at all. This is superb. Superborific. It's Manhattan Municipal Building by Frog. Oh, Frog. I love this. Absolutely love this. Obviously, if you're doing a New York build, you're going to need this one. And I love the fact you can take a little walk through the middle of it as well. Put a little footpath through there. All good. Okay, factoids, because factoids. Wakashan is a family of languages spoken in British Columbia, around and on Vancouver Island, and in the northwestern corner of the Olympic Peninsula of Washington State. On the south side of the strait, the Fuca, maybe. As is typical in northwest coast of the northwest coast, Wakashan languages have a large consonant inventory, and consonants often occur in complex clusters. I'm trying to show you the old golden statue on the top there. I'm failing badly. So there we go. Manhattan Municipal Building by Frog. Today's asset of the day, and I absolutely adore it. I do. I absolutely adore it. And I adore the map as well. I really do. But do you? That's what we're here for. What do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. It could, for me, be a little bit more interesting by that river just being a bit more interesting. Other than that, brilliant. I'm going to go slightly above middle 4. Detailing. Standards are exceptional, with a few minor grumbles here and there, and they are all minor grumbles. A missing pillar, some uprights that don't quite connect with the bridge. Yeah, that sort of thing. A wobbly tunnel entrance. All minor stuff, and not much of it. I'm going to go slightly above middle 4. Gameplay potential. I think this is a really strong. My only personal issue with it is I think once I built on it once, I wouldn't want to build on it twice, but I think it'd be a very good once. So for that, I think we'll go slightly above middle 4. Wakashan Bay by DeaconPmp. Price marked pack. What price shall we put on Deacon? How about a seal of approval? It's not really a price. It's priceless. You can't pay for... Well, you can. I'll take... You know, if you throw enough money at me, I'll give you a seal of approval. I will. States that I've been paid for it, mind you. But you can have a seal of approval on your map for a small fee. I'm not going to keep anybody in the dark about these things. Anyway, got to the end of another show. If you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Use the words of the day into the comments. Score yourself some population points just for fun. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What Map series. Have a great day, and I'll see you very, very soon.